Yeah, so as I was saying, today's session is going to be based on a number of different things. It's maybe our last online session. So we're going to look at agility as a physical theme. We're going to talk about some, from a racket skills perspective, we're going to do a bit of hitting because I think that's always a bit of fun. We're also going to look at lets and strokes. So that's the main thing we're going to look at today from a squash perspective. And I want you all to leave today with a good understanding of what a let is, what a stroke is, what a no let is, who gets the point, when you should ask for them, how do you award them if you are refereeing a game, those sorts of things. And we're going to look at a few videos and see what you think about what the situations are. I think we'll also maybe get a bit of time to talk about game plans and thinking about your strengths and weaknesses as a person, as an individual squash player, and how that might want to be changed if you're playing an opponent who's particularly good in one area or another area. And there's a good game that we can watch between Laura Massara and Noor El Tayeb, which is really interesting to see how she adjusts her game when she's playing someone with certain skills, with a certain skill set. Okay, so that's kind of the outline of today's session. What we'll start with, what should we start with? I think we start with making sure you guys have all the right equipment. So you will all need preferably 2 squash balls each. Preferably. So you need a racket. You need preferably 2 squash balls. You need a pen and paper or your journal and some water. So go and get those things, guys. Aiden's staying very still. He must have everything. He's on mute, so I can't hear what you said if you were talking to me just then. Louis, you all set?
Yep.
Good stuff. All right. You'll be pleased to know, Louis, there'll be some drawing on the screen today.
Yes.
Not by you. By me. Okay. We'll just wait for everyone to come back with their bits of paper and stuff. Okay, let me get ready. Okay, Jensen and Caleb, are you ready? If so, stop knocking around with your balls and come back to the camera so we can get started. James and Tom, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, I'm not going to start until, I don't know which one it is, James or Tom, is in front of the camera. Okay.
Just go.
Who's chatting? Is that you, Louis?
Yeah, my brother's annoying me.
Whispering away. Okay, all right. Everyone is here. So, Tom, James.
Yeah, we're just trying to get the 4th ball. Throw it under the chair. Okay, yeah,
Okay. We don't need those just now. What we're going to start with, I think, is looking at lets and strokes. Okay, leave the squash ball now, guys. You need to be ready. Everyone's waiting for you. James, Tom, sit down. Thank you. Okay, so what is a let? Yes, Tom.
there's a ball on the squash court, someone's in front of you, but if they weren't in front of you, you could have got the ball, you'd call it a let.
Okay. How does that description differ to a stroke?
If the ball hits you.
Is that it? If the ball hits you?
The ball hits you, you get a point.
Which year are you talking about? Aiden, help us out.
Isn't it that it's a stroke if they're not trying to get out of the way of the ball, but it's a let if they're actually trying to move out of the way? Is that?
We're getting closer. I could really try my hardest, Aiden, to get out of the way of the ball, but then it hits me. But I was trying really hard, Aiden, I promise. I was trying so hard, but it hit me still. That's a stroke, even if I was trying to get out of the way. Or I was trying to get out of your way, but it was too late. I played such a bad shot. I played it right back to myself, but I was trying really hard to get out of the way, but it's just not enough because you could have hit it there and then if I wasn't there. So that's still a stroke. So it's not really to do with trying. It's anyone else got a, think they've got maybe slightly closer idea. You're not wrong though, Aiden, necessarily. You're very close. Louis?
I don't know.
You don't know what a let is?
Well, it's like when like you might you shout let when you might like get hit by the ball, and
oh, if they're in danger of getting hit by the ball.
Yeah. And then you just play the ball again, but if you don't shout let and it hits you, it's just too bad for you.
I think there's a little, that sounds confusing to me, because that sounds like if I'm talking about me, I call a let, but then it hits me. Is that what you're saying? Only the person who's about to play the ball can call a let. If I've just hit it, I can't call a let because I'm getting in the way of the other person. It's up to them to decide if they can hit the ball or if I'm stopping them hitting the ball. We're getting closer though. Jensen and Caleb.
Is it when there's no passage to the ball in the stroke, but it takes longer, the let?
Just say that again, please.
Where a stroke, there's no passage, you're blocked completely by the other player. Where let, there is a way around, but the ball's probably already bounced twice. So you play, or they're too close to you to play the ball.
Sort of, yeah. So a let is when someone gets in your way on the way to you getting to the ball. The ball isn't right next to you. The ball is over there. But someone got in your way on the way to you getting to the ball. Now, Aiden, if they weren't trying to get out of the way at all, then maybe it turns into a stroke. If they were deliberately getting in the way. So if it's my shot and you're there and you make no effort to get out of the way, then it might even turn into a stroke. But if you're trying to get out of the way, I'm trying to get, not in the way, but I'm trying to get to the ball. But the ball is in front of you. It's not right next to you. I can't play it there and then, but because you've moved a bit out of the way, but there's still some space for me to get to the ball. Then that's a let. The stroke, so it's mainly to do with distance and how immediately you can hit the ball or you can't hit the ball. So it's to do with distance, the difference between the two. The stroke is when the ball's coming up, it's right there, I'm ready to play it, but you're there, you're in the way. But if you weren't there, I could play it right now. Boom, I could play. So that's a stroke. But the let is you're there, you're trying to get out of the way, I'm trying to get in, but the ball's a bit further away and I can't quite get to it. So there's been a bit of a kind of traffic issue. That's the let situation. So we'll write down, I think, we'll get closer to our definition. shortly. But let's watch a couple of clips now that I'm going to share with you, and it will help you kind of understand. I want you to make up in your own mind what you think the decision is, whether it's a let or whether it's a stroke when we watch some of these rallies now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pull some of these up. This is a good one to look at here. Okay, ready? Watching? What happened there? Did anyone see what happened? Aidan, did you see what happened there?
Sorry, I zoned out. Could you play it again, please?
Zoned out at the most important point. That's okay. We'll play it again. There.
She bumps into the other girl.
She
The
does.
woman, the lady in white. She's trying to get to the ball, but she bumps into the lady in the green shirt. Oh, look. So that would be a let, right?
You think it's a let?
Yep.
What does everyone else think? Louis, what do you think?
To me, when I looked, it kind of looked as if the girl in white purposely bumped into the girl in yellow.
Interesting. I'm glad you said that. So what would
'Cause
that be
there
then?
was-
If we all decide that she purposefully ran into the lady in the yellow instead of going to the ball, what's that then?
That's nothing. That's just the other person's point. No let.
So no let.
But that's only if she did bump into it on purpose. How could you prove that she bumped into her on purpose?
I'm glad we're having this conversation, because what you can do, or what they do is they do video reviews and stuff. And what we can do now is kind of replay it. And look, what we look at, Aidan, is the players line to the ball. See where they should have gone to get the ball and see where they actually went. And if there's a difference, then they kind of ran into the player for no reason instead of going to the ball, trying to get a let or a stroke instead of actually running after the ball. James and Tom, what do you guys think? Or should I play it again before you guys say something? Sorry, James? Tom?
I think she ran in front of the ball on purpose.
So you think it's no let?
Yeah.
What about you, Caleb Jensen? Your video's gone at the moment. Caleb and Jensen, are you there? Okay, we'll carry on without them. Okay, we're going to play it again, and then we'll play it all the way through. So let's have a look.
Decision Chervini. Let.
Wow, how's that no let? I was almost thinking of stroke.
So they decided no let.
Yeah, it did sort of look. Yeah, watching it again and looking for her mopping into it, it did sort of look like she was moving her body to
So
make it.
I'm going to pause it here. Oh, hello. So I'm going to. This is it, Louis. This is the exciting part.
I mean,
Okay.
if you look, the ball's completely to her right, and her racket when it's extended is nowhere near the ball. I mean, she completely has space.
So when that ball bounces, if you can see this ball here, it's going to be there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this red line is where she should go, but she kind of goes, oh, hello, I'll bump into you instead. And then if I just press play here, look, Why are you running over there, mate? The ball's all the way over to the right. What's you running over there? So yeah, I think it's a no let as well. But that's interesting. Does anyone disagree with what we've said there? Okay. Let's look at the next one. So that's quite a nice example.
Wait, isn't it said the
Sorry? Hello? Who's chatting away? Okay, I can't hear anyone else now. I'll get another example up. What's this one? Okay, yeah, this is a good one. Okay, here we go. What do you think that is? Yeah, James Tom.
I think it's a let.
Not a let because he was trying to get back to the tee and then the other person ran into him.
So the guy in blue was trying to get back to the tee, and the guy in white and red just went into him.
Yeah.
So you think no let?
No,
Yeah.
there's no let.
Anyone else? Aidan, what do you think?
I'll have to watch it again. I think maybe a let, but I didn't really see where the ball was going to bounce. I just saw him bumping in. I'll watch the ball this time and see.
All right. What do you think?
Have to try it down.
Let.
Yeah. Do you have something?
Yeah, I think maybe a let.
I'll meet you.
Maybe a let. Jensen and Caleb, your video's not working. Yeah, video's not working. And what do you think, Louis?
I think let.
I think it's a let. Okay, let's see what they say.
Stroke.
I think they give him a
Pretty
stroke.
far in that front corner there. Nothing you can do with that shot. I might have been in the way, but there was nothing you could do. Get him to reach it. Well, you weren't getting that underway. Sorry? You weren't getting that clear underway. Then you go flying. He's so fast, he doesn't get there before I even clear. That's not my problem. That's his problem. Okay. Have that discussion. Thank you. And good three.
Interesting. Here's another one that comes up.
What was that? I think that's no let.
Wait, can we see that again?
He wanted a stroke. He wanted a stroke.
Wait,
but,
what? Can we see that again?
Yeah. Oh dear, makes me laugh every time. What's happening here then?
Well, he's been blocked again. Like same conditions, kind of.
Who's been blocked?
The white guy. The guy with the white shirt.
He's been blocked from playing the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
So what do you think it is?
Stroke.
You think it's a stroke?
Yeah.
He wants a stroke, but he's been given a let. Do you think that's fair? No? Anyone?
I think
That's
it didn't look like the other guy was trying to move that much.
Mm. To me, it looked like he might have had space to play the ball still.
Yeah, I also thought that it was more to his right, the ball.
Yeah, it was quite far over to the right, right?
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't that close to him in order to be a stroke. Let's look at one more. Find another one. That's a good one. Sure. This one's a funny one. What do you think about this one?
oh, it's another Steve.
Hey! Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Nick Matthew and Rami Ashore. What happened?
He just didn't run for it.
Yeah, why?
Maybe he was in his way.
Did you think he was in his way?
Yeah.
Let's go again.
No, I think
What happened?
it looks. Did he hurt his back?
When?
Look, I don't know. It looks like he could have got that.
Yeah. This is what he does as well. Look, this is what he thinks. He's like, what? What happened?
Decision, please. Which decision? Yes, let.
About which ball? No, just reconsider what you just said. Let about which ball? No one asked for a let. Are you just guys making up a let?
No, I asked for a let, of course, because
I'm the one who's going for the ball. How can he ask for a let?
But on the way,
are you kidding me?
On the way through, you have caught him. Yes,
he just
stop.
caught me on the bottom
Yes,
of the back
stop.
and I put my hand up straight away.
Yes, stop.
Does someone understand what I'm saying? I was the one who's playing the ball. He doesn't have the right to say, to ask for a let. But you can't argue about this.
But there was interference.
Ow!
Stop.
Wait, so he tapped him on the back.
Can I get the review? Yeah. Can I get the review?
Can you get a review? Video review.
What do we think?
He tapped him on the back, and then they stopped. Like,
Yeah.
Is that what?
So what do you think it is? Like, so Nick Matthew
let.
here is asking for a let because he got tapped on the back. And let's look at the other extreme. Let's say Rami Ashore takes him out, like rugby tackles him to the floor. Nick falls on the floor, and then Rami plays his shot. What would that be?
That would be just you'd be disqualified. That would obviously be a stroke or a let or whatever.
That would be a let at least to Nick Matthew because you shouldn't knock someone over on the way to the ball.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, what's he done? Nothing. He just little tap just to get to the ball. Doesn't actually. Are you drawing, Louis? How are you able to draw? Was that me? I don't know. I'm sure you're on mute. I can't hear you.
It's not me. It's somebody else.
Someone else has just figured it out. Anyway, he's asking for a let, and don't do that again, whoever that was. And yeah, the referee has given him a let. Rami Ashore has appealing. He's saying, can I have a video review? Because I don't want him to have a let for that, because I don't think I was in the way at all. And we'll see what happens.
Please. Is there a show on the yes-led decision?
There. I don't know what that was. Little tap.
How is that a let?
No let.
Decision overruled.
So they overruled the decision and they decided to give him a no let because it was ridiculous. Nothing wrong happened. Okay, so we're watching all those videos. Let's get Jensen, Caleb. You need to write something down now, guys. Looking far too relaxed. Unless that's, oh, that's just probably a picture of them. I don't know. A picture of them? Unless they haven't moved. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, pen and paper. We need to write down what a let is. Now, feel free to write down in your own words what you think it is. But what I would say is it's when your opponent gets in your way on the way to you getting to the ball. Okay. Okay. Let me know when you've written that down. Oh, you are there. Jensen, Caleb, what are you doing?
Yeah, camera completely glitched and then the video playing at all, so we had to complete.
Okay, is it working now?
Not really, no, the videos aren't playing, they're glitching every like 5 seconds.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah.
Okay, well, did you hear what I said about a let?
Not really, no, camera complete, and the audio completely glitched out.
Okay, Aidan, could you read out what you wrote down for a let? And Jensen, Caleb, can you write it down, please?
A let is when your opponent obstructs the move. When you move to the ball. A let is when your opponent obstructs your movement to the ball, or your path to the ball, something like that. And then a stroke is when the ball is near you and your opponent obstructs you.
And if they weren't there, you could play it there and then.
Yeah, a stroke is when your opponent obstructs your shot at the ball.
Yeah, when you can play it. So it's all about timing, lets and strokes. So everyone write down what a stroke is now, please. Louis? So a stroke is when your opponent gets in your way when you can play the ball there and then.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Good. Just wait for everyone else to write that down. Okay. Now, in the let scenario there, the definition you've written down, you have to realistically be able to get to the ball in order for you to get a let. So if Aidan gets in my way, let's say Aidan plays a drop shot from the back right of the court to the front left. And for some reason, I'm behind Aidan and I try and get to the ball, but he's in my way. But there's no way I'm going to get to that shot because he played a great shot and there's no chance I'm ever going to get to it. But he did get in my way. That's a no let because there's no chance I was ever going to get to it anyway. So it needs to be realistic. Okay. All right. So now we've looked at lets and strokes. Shall we look at game plans, or do you want to do something physical next? So hands up for game plan next, where we're going to review some video and talk about game plans. Okay, more hands. We're going to do something physical at the end then. All right, so game plans. Let's look at the video. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see if it's going to play. I suspect it won't. I will find it. Okay, so the next video we're going to watch is a game between Laura Massaro and Noor El Tayeb. And in it, it's a commentated video by Laura Massaro. It describes what how she changes her game to try and play and beat Noor El Tayeb, Egyptian player, an English player versus an Egyptian player. Whilst we're watching this, I just want you to think about what your strengths are as a squash player and what your default game plan would be. Now, you might not even have one, but I want you to start thinking about what you might think about when going into a match against someone. Apart from just the excitement of being able to be back on a squash court and play someone competitively, how would you play someone if you didn't know how they played? And then maybe how would you adjust it if you did, or if that game plan wasn't working? So that's what I want you to think about whilst watching this video. Any questions? No? All right. So we're going to watch 3-4 minutes of it. It's only 8 minutes long in total. We'll watch 3-4 minutes, stop it, have a chat, and then we'll watch the rest of it. Here we go.
So just as I come back on court for the third game of the match against Noor El Tayeb in the British Open, 2-0 up with the first game being quite ahead and then just sneaking 11-9, and the second game being quite far behind, I think 7-2, and winning it 11-9 as well. So feeling quite good, I think, mentally at the start of this third game. Had a good chat with Danny. Obviously kind of in a way annoyed at how the first two games went, being so far up and only just winning it, and then so far down and only just winning it. Totally different. And he just basically said to me, stick to the game plan. We had a game plan to try and frustrate Noor in this match, keep the angles down, keep the ball tight on the wall and get in front and volley. And it really, really was as simple as that. And I played well on this day, and I don't think Noor was at her best, but sometimes it's always hard to tell whether someone's not at their best because of the tactical plan that you're employing. And so as we start this third game now, I'm obviously just levelled back at 2-2 here, and as you'll see that as it goes on, I'm really trying to kind of nullify her, almost with a mindset of popping the ball around the court a little bit, just putting the ball in really good areas, putting the ball into corners, using lots of height, trying to keep her from getting a grip of kind of any sort of momentum and any sort of shot play. And you can see there I'm using quite a lot of height where I can. The ball's going up towards the alarm sign wherever I'm in any sort of trouble, and you can see that when I didn't do it how dangerous she is. So yeah, 3-3. I guess my mindset is really just thinking kind of stay on the volley, and if I can't volley, take the ball as early as I can. As you can see there, just cutting the ball off and volleying using good height, and putting the ball back into good areas. That was a good volley. It's about using all of my technical kind of ability to just pop the ball down the wall with good shape on the ball, if that makes sense. So it's not kind of just drilled like an arrow down the wall, but faded into the wall. And just as she wants to kind of hit it, it's hitting the side wall at the back and making her go for something a bit wild there on that cross-court nick that she missed.
Yeah, Shabini hit a shot coach. Yeah. Very uncharacteristic.
Only I've ever seen her hit the service line with a cross-court volley.
See it hit the tin, but
I think they're just at the back corner, just really looking to kind of take the ball early. It really doesn't look like much when you just watch him, but there's two balls there that either could have been let to come off the back wall or, let bounce. And it obviously, again, was another shot that just ran into the side wall. And she's kind of probably panicking a little bit at this point, 2-0, 5-3 down from Tayyeb's point of view, and not really looking like she knows too much what's going on. And I would have been told off for that cross-court drop-off, Danny, because, the game plan is to not let her throw that leg and kind of windmill it off. And it just shows when you do open up the court how she can just get the ball back like she did. And then it was the straight drop that won the rally. And that's what's so important to remember. I kept having to remind myself all the time, play straight, use the front two corners, don't play my flick, which I love to play so much. But Noor's so good at just reading those flicks and throwing the leg and the racket out.
So I'll just stop it there, guys. We'll get back to it in a minute. Do we notice anything about that game so far worth mentioning? Aidan, you're on mute.
She's focusing on controlling the court and not letting her opponent do the shot she likes. So she's just hitting it really soon and doing volleys. That's kind of her plan.
Yeah. And Louis?
She's mainly sticking to her game plan. So she's doing straight drives, but sometimes she changes it up so that her opponent can't get a grip on what her tactic. A game plan.
Yeah, so she's really trying to, so a lot of the commentary there's talking about, she's really trying to keep the ball at the back corners and not give Noor any opportunities to volley the ball or anything at the front. So she's not really playing the ball too much to the front. And she played one thing that we found really interesting about that was one shot that she's really good at playing is a cross-court flick. And she's won so many kind of games and so many matches off the back of that shot because she's so good at it. But against this particular opponent, it's not a good shot because this particular opponent reads it really well and gets onto it and is going to play a good shot off of it. So imagine having a shot that you guys have, maybe you have them, that you kind of lean back on all the time and think maybe it's a forehand straight drive, straight kill, for example, forehand straight kill. You think, as long as you get in that position and you play that shot, you're going to win the rally. She's not allowing herself to play that shot because she knows that this particular opponent is good at returning that. So she's trying to stay really disciplined and keeping it in areas. It might be kind of boring squash, not going for the winners that she might ordinarily enjoy playing, but just trying to, they use the word nullify. Do you know what that means?
Negate.
Yeah, kind of just offset the impact that her game could have by not giving her any opportunity to kind of step up and attack. We're going to watch the next few minutes and see what you guys think.
En fait, t'en sais rien si j'ai besoin ou si j'ai pas.
Thank you for that. I'll play.
So physically,
Pretty sure that was down, wasn't it? Another couple of really good straight balls there. I think it just has that kind of ability to makes the court massive for your opponent when you play straight, and particularly when you're doing it with the volley combo as well. And so from this point now, I've gone from 3-all to 7-3, and I haven't really done a lot. I've just stayed solid, and I've let her make the silly decision, and then maybe just picked her off at the right time, and sort of where the pressure comes from being 2-0 up, and maybe she knows that from these positions I'm quite good. Don't let people off the hook, and she's gone from being kind of borderline joking and laughing around in the first 2 games to kind of now getting quite angry at herself. And I feed on that quite well. It makes me very aware when someone's emotional state changes on a match. I'm very, very aware of when someone is behaving how they normally do and maybe behaving out of character, and knowing that I've potentially got them in a place they don't want to be, really. I mean, that was a let ball there, but I felt quite happy with that rally. Couple of really good injections of pace, tight balls. You know, she doesn't really want to be playing them balls, so just happy to kind of replay the rally again. It just shows like her, you know, how good she is around the middle when you just leave it at the front.
Very astute with when to use the reviews as well, Massaro.
Yeah, she missed a trick there.
Really good straight ball there, just throwing the leg again. Looks quite simple, but most people kind of probably would panic there and maybe open up the court. Trying to keep it straight, as you can see. Straight and high if I'm under pressure, straight with pace if I'm not. Just nullifying her here and almost making her feel like she has to do something spectacular to get into the rally, and she's going with me, which is what you'd expect from someone of this quality. Playing straight well, and you know, it's a tough rally this. She's got a lot of balls back, and I think I've done quite a good job of staying straight there, hunting that ball down and not thinking about coming to the back of the court, and then the straight volley is the shot that wins it. I think at this point, I kind of thought, without getting too complacent, that might have been the match right there, because, you know, it was a tough rally. She was on the end of it, and I just kept moving the ball around the court, and she'd done a lot of work there, so she's probably going to shoot in this next rally and try and get something crazy, and I did well to pick her off. Another running ball. Camps is laughing. I'm looking out probably a bit like, what are you laughing at? Not over the line yet. And that's the thing I've learned in my career, just make sure that you push for that last point as if it's 9-all. 9-all in the, you know, in a game, and when you're ahead, it's almost even more concentration, because the last thing that you want to do is lose a lead from this far up. So even more focus to the plan, even more focus to every shot that you play, meaning on every single ball. And there you go. She was actually pretty good at the end of this match, and she said there, as we're just talking, that I got the better of her today, and that my game plan was too good, and maybe she realised how much I was restricting her play and her flamboyancy and the way that she likes to play the game. But Danny and I really set out with this match with a really, really clear but very, very simple game plan. And, you know, that's probably one of my proudest matches in terms of actually sticking to the simplicity of the game plan. And that set me up with a match against Noelle Shabini.
Okay. What do we see there towards the end? Anything additional? Anyone? Did you take anything from the commentary that she said that you thought maybe you could apply to your own games, perhaps?
Just staying consistent, not getting greedy, just doing what you know works.
Yeah, very good. What I found quite interesting was it takes a lot of self-awareness to not only be aware of how you're feeling and how you are displaying your emotions on court, but also then to be aware of your opponent and what you're doing on court and how it's affecting them, and how they are suggesting if they're upset or angry at themselves, and kind of what you do with that information. So Laura's very aware of her kind of mental state. She's saying super focus. Another player who does that really well is James Wilstrop. Doesn't give the opponent any information about how tired or how upset they are. He is during the match. And I just wondered how many of you guys get kind of wrapped up in the heat of a match and get a bit upset, or maybe you haven't had too many matches, or maybe you guys haven't gone to too many tournaments just yet, and that's something for the future to think about. But in general, guys, what would you say are your strengths and weaknesses? And I'm going to ask everyone individually. So I want you to take a couple of minutes to write it down. Write what you think your strengths and weaknesses are on your pieces of paper. We'll talk about it for a few minutes.
Really hard, really hard. You don't need to write one. Tom, what strength do you think I have?
And then also, if you finish that, write down what your standard game plan would be. If you haven't played your opponent, if you haven't played the person you're playing before and know a bit about how they play, what would be your game plan? What does that mean to you? How would you start the game? How would you try and set up rallies so that you would win? Tom's running around like a nutter. I hope you've done everything. Okay.
Would you write my game plan is to hit the ball on the wall?
Need a couple more minutes, Jensen and Caleb.
Okay. Game plan is to hit the ball on the wall. Which an impressive game plan. I told you, my game plan is to hit the ball on the wall and hit it hard so the other person can't get it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's have a chat. So, Louis, what would you say are your strengths, weaknesses? What would your game plan be? Can everyone else put their
Come on.
mics on mute, please? Okay, Louis.
So my strengths are cross-court boasts and drop shots.
When you say cross-court boast, what do you mean?
When I'm like maybe back in a corner, back corner, I just smash it against the wall, going for the cross court, so that I can regain control of the tee.
When you're in the back quarter?
Yeah.
So a normal boast then, not what because I'm not sure what a cross court boast is. Do you mean a normal boast?
Yeah.
Okay, but from the back of the court?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I just had to let the cat out of the room. What would you say your weaknesses are then?
From when an opponent hits it like very well, and then it goes all the way back and hits the back wall. If it's already bounced, I will mostly lose the point. I always lose a point. But if it hasn't, I might get it back. But I find it very hard.
So getting the ball back out of the back corners. Okay. And what about a game plan?
For me, it's just to like tire the opponent out.
Tire them out. What if they're fitter than you, mate?
I don't know. I still like I do drives, then cross court drop shots, just to get them to run everywhere.
So you'd aim them.
And if they're fitter than me, I just try and win quick points, but like boasting a lot.
Boasting, and then using a boast as an attacking shot. Do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Tom, you look like you're having too much fun. Let's go on to you. Strengths and weaknesses, please.
My strength is I can hit the ball really hard so it can bounce off the wall, or it can go into the back of the court.
Okay.
It can, they have to run.
Yeah, that's always good. From which positions can you do that, Tom?
I can do it from the front and the middle.
But from the back, getting it to the back again is a bit harder.
Yeah, but I mean, from the back, I would just do not that hard. So if it hits the wall, it would be kind of like a drop shot, but from the back.
Okay. But would you say that you struggle then to get the ball from the back of the court to the back of the court again?
Yes.
Okay. And what about weaknesses, or have you thought about that a bit?
You didn't do any weakness. I didn't do a weakness.
Okay. Thinking about it now, do you think you have some gaps that could be filled?
Probably. Oh, I got one. No, I forgot.
What about a game plan, Tom?
Oh, game plan.
Your game plan. You wrote my game plan is to hit.
No, okay. So my game plan is to make everybody that's playing me run a lot so they can get tired.
Okay, that's exactly what I wrote.
How are you going to do that?
My game, Tom, you wrote my game plan is to hit the ball.
Why are you putting it on mute and running away?
Tom wrote, my game plan is to hit the ball on the wall and hit it hard so the other person can't get it, yeah.
Okay. James, what about you then? Strengths and weaknesses, please.
That one.
Okay, I wrote, I can control the ball well for my strength. But
What does that mean?
Well, I can hit it where I'm trying to hit it. Right.
Okay.
And my weakness is if I hit the ball really hard, I can't really hit it very accurately.
One kind of contradicts the other, doesn't it? Okay, so if you're hitting it hard, then you're not sure too much where it's going to go.
Yeah, but if I hit it softer, which isn't good always in squash, I can hit it accurately. And my game plan was to make sure the opponent has to run a lot and get tired.
Is that your game plan, yeah?
Yeah. What I did.
Run a lot and get tired. Okay. Aiden? Mute. Can you mute yourselves, James and Tom? Thank you.
I think I'm quite good at doing drops, like dropping it to the front of the court, forehand drops and boasts. I also quite like doing boasts as well. I think a weakness is volleys. I can hit them, but I'm not very reliable at hitting them. Sometimes, like some matches, I'll hit volleys really well, but other matches, I'll just miss them.
Yeah.
And then my game plan would be hitting hard drives to the back of the court and then baiting them out of drops.
Okay. Sounds good. And Jensen.
Okay, my strength is hitting the ball hard.
Okay.
To the back of the court.
Mm-hmm.
And my weak is hitting the ball high. Because when I do that, it mainly goes out. Basically goes out of.
So when you're trying to hit it high to go to the back, it sometimes goes out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And then my game plan is controlling the ball more.
What I mean is, with regards to game plan, going into a game thinking, right, I'll do this, and then maybe I'll go for that.
Okay, then I'll change that.
We'll come back to you in a second on that one. Caleb.
Strengths are forehand drives.
Could you come up to the camera and not look so relaxed, please? Thank you.
Forehand drives, and then boasts, like defensive and offensive boasts.
An attacking boast, yeah?
Yeah, and
Okay.
defensive too.
Mm-hmm.
And weaknesses are the backhand volley shots. I struggle.
Backhand what, sorry?
And game backhand volleys.
Weakness, yeah. Okay. And game plan?
I make the opponent run, let's say, to the front, and then I hit it far back, or hit the back or drop it.
Keep them moving around. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think I hadn't really thought about this, but for myself, we'll let you off the hook there, Jensen, with game plan. For myself, I think my strengths are my movement, I would say. I think I can get to lots of shots that perhaps people at my own ability level wouldn't be able to get to. Another strength is maybe just my backhand length. And my game plan, if I hadn't played them before, would be to hit it deep into the backhand side, whichever their backhand side is. If they're left-handed, hit it deep there, and then look to attack short. So generally, if it's my backhand side, I quite like attacking and moving my opponent around with a boast, either a backhand volley boast or just a kind of an attacking boast from the back. Quite good at it. And if that doesn't win it, will at least maybe put them under pressure, so they maybe lift the ball up, and then it gives me a volley opportunity to put them either back into that back corner to then, again, make them more tired, or to play a winning shot from that position. So I kind of aim to try and get some rallies going on the backhand side, get it tighter and tighter, because I'm good at playing a good length from that position. And then trying to put more pressure from that. Cool. That's interesting. All interesting stuff. How do you think, just wondering how do we do? Yeah, let's do that now. Let's spend the last 10 minutes doing a bit of agility work. So can everyone stand up? I'm going to change my cameras over. And everyone stand up. I'll change my cameras over. Start jogging on the spot. Let's get yourselves ready for some exercise. Video. Spotlight. Spotlight. Okay, can everyone hear me and see me? Different camera.
Yeah.
Need one person to say yes, thank you. Okay, jogging. Everyone should be jogging. Let's go. Jogging on the spot. Get the knees nice and high. Come on. Who's that? Aiden. Knees higher. Okay. Now, heel flips. Can you bum? Heel flips. Good. Some star jumps.
Yeah.
Good. And some upper body rotations. Good. Now, everyone get down into a press-up position. And I want you to take one hand off the floor and rotate round, and then the other hand off the floor. Rotate round. Okay. Let's go. Let's go for 10 of those. Okay, everyone jump up. We're going to go for some small jumps, side to side, jumps, side to side. And forward, backwards jumps. Now, everyone grab your racket and put it on the floor. Okay, I want you to hop over the handle. Hop over the handle. We're going 20 times hopping over the handle. On one leg, then we change over. Good. Then change over onto the other leg when you've done that. Tap session. Yeah. Here we go. Good. Okay, cool. Next one. We're going to do an explosive knee raise. So in this position, what you're going to do, drive up and land. So you come up with one knee and the opposite arm, drive up from the side. That looks like this. Up. And you're trying to get as much height as possible and then land on that leg and drop down. So I want you to try 5 of those on each side. So trying to get as much height as possible, up and down. Good. Just 5 on each side. This should be an exercise that's on the spot. It should be a running jump, whoever that is. Gentlemen.
Wait.
Should be an on the spot exercise. Up.
Wait.
Good. Okay, everyone stop there. Next one, we're going to go for a lunge matrix. So on your right leg, I want you to just lunge towards 12 o'clock. Now lunge towards 1:30. Turn, lunge to 3 o'clock. Lunge behind you for 4:30. And then directly back for 6 o'clock. Just on your right leg. Let's see that, everyone. Good. So has everyone done all those positions?
Yep.
Great. Now we're going to go left leg. Okay, so left leg. I'm going to go 12 o'clock here. Left leg, then I'm going to go 10:30. I'm going to turn to the side 9 o'clock. And then behind me is 7:30. Then directly back is 6 o'clock. So everyone do that with your left leg. Has everyone done that? Yeah? Great. Okay, so now I need to grab your 2 squash balls. Hopefully everyone's got 2 squash balls. Okay. And what we're going to do is start jogging on the spot. Grab both squash balls, but start jogging on the spot. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to lunge to a certain position and put the squash ball down. Okay. So 1:30, put the ball down on the floor. 10:30, put the other ball down on the floor. 1:30, let's pick it up. And let's put it down at 7:30. And back to a jog, back to the center, back to a jog. Let's go. So both balls should be on the floor. Okay, pick up 10:30, lunge in, pick it up. Lunge in, pick up 7:30. Put it down at 1:30. Good. Put one down at 4:30. Lunging down. Good. Back to a jog. Pick up at 1:30. Put it down at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock lunge. Okay. Pick it up at 4:30. And put it down at 12 o'clock in front. Back to a jog. Good. Keep it moving, guys. Okay. Pick it up at 9 o'clock. Put it down at 3 o'clock. Pick it up at 12. And put it down 7:30. Back to a jog. Pick it up at 7:30. Put it down at 7:30.
Why?
Good. Pick it up at 3 o'clock. And put it down at 4:30 behind you. Good. Keep going with your lunges. Back to a jog. Good. Pick it up at 4:30. And put it down at 12. 12 is in front, agent. Yes. Losing our bearings. And stop there. Louis looking knackered. Okay. And sit down, everyone. Well done. So let's just have a bit of a recap of today's session. I'll look at this one. Fine. Let's have a bit of a recap of today's session. Can everyone turn their mics on? Aidan.
Yeah.
Have you found this session useful today?
Yeah.
What did you find? What are you taking away from today's session? A bit more understanding.
Actively thinking about my game plan. So not just like sort of playing whatever shot I feels right, like having some sort of plan, thinking about what I want to do for the entire match.
Good. Okay. Louis, how have you found today?
Well, like for the let, I didn't completely like know about it, and I didn't completely know the difference between a let and a stroke.
Do you feel like you've got a better understanding now?
Yeah.
Good. Good. What about you, Jensen?
Well, I thought the session was good, yes. I learned the definition of a stroke and a let.
Good. And Caleb, what about you?
About me?
Yeah.
I learned, well, why you need to change your game plan against certain people.
Yeah, very good.
And when you should call a let or stroke.
I'm pleased. Good. Okay, and James.
I think the session was good, and I learned what a let and a stroke actually was.
Good stuff. And what about Tom?
I thought the session was good because I learned what a let and stroke was.
You just copied everything I just said word for word.
Okay. Well, as long as that's true, I don't mind what you just said if it is the same thing. Well done, guys. I enjoyed that session. It was good. Some of those lets and stroke situations are interesting, aren't they? It's not. Some of them aren't that clear what decision is going to be made. So really well done on today's session. And yeah, hopefully that's the last online session for a while, and we'll be back on court. I think we're almost certainly back on court next Saturday afternoon at Stormont with Evie. So
bye.
Well done, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.